Strategic thinking. When I say that, what comes to mind? For me, it's high level, big picture, long term. Those are the things that come to me. I recently had individual clients come to me this past year. I had a couple come to me, and I've had organizations that want to work with their high performing folks. They want to work with them on their strategic thinking. So I've developed a model that I work with, and I want to share that with you. Today is an overview of what that model looks like, and then in future videos we're going to dig into details of each one of those areas. So here are the areas that I look at. Number one, I think first space, vertical space, horizontal space. Think 2 levels up, 2 levels down. How do you impact those folks 2 levels up? How do you impact those 2 levels down? How do they impact you? Both of them. So that way you understand the impact you're having vertically and the impact those are having on you for the long term, for the strategic view. Adjacently, what about the adjacent organizations? So the horizontal side of things. How do you impact those organizations? How do they impact you for what you're trying to accomplish in the long term? So that's what I call space. Next one I call time. Long term, short term. Strategic is long term. But what does long term mean for your organization? If you're a startup, long term might be 6 months. If you're a large established public company like General Electric, that might be a lot longer. What does long term mean for you? What does short term mean for you? And how does the short term impact the long term? And how are you being measured by that? All important elements to understand and learn how you're impacting the big strategic view of where the company is going or your organization is going. Could be a nonprofit. Right? So that's time. Next, finances. Business is all about making money, and if you're in a nonprofit, you're still in business because you still need to fund your organization. So strategic view of finances. What do you need to worry about? One, you need to worry about cash flow, revenue, profit, business cycles. What's the cycle? What does the cycle look like overall? So there's all those elements that you need to be able to put together. And if you know that if you're in retail, you have several months where that cycle is really important. That's where you make the majority of your money. There's other businesses that's pretty even. What are the cycles of your business? How does your organization impact the strategic view of those levels up and those folks adjacent to it? And how do they impact you? Understand the overall cycle. How do you budget for your organization, and what does that mean? Short term, long term, to impact the strategic view. Last one, people. At every level, we go back and we look at who are the key people that impact you strategically and that you impact strategically. Who are those relationships you should have? Who are the relationships you must have in order to make an impact strategically? How do you go after making those relationships? So that's the big picture. That's how I look at it. So the model that I have, that we work with, strategic. When I say thinking strategically, we are thinking first space, vertically, horizontally, time, long term, short term. What does that mean? After that, it's all about finances, and then lastly about people.